Track 3. Thank you, Sarah and Vic, and now here's Eleanor and Barry with some more news. 1/3 of households across East Northamptonshire will have a new collection day once a wheelie bin collection services is introduced in August. The new bins and food waste caddies will be delivered to more than 98% of residents over a 4-week period starting on Monday. The council's waste services manager, Charlotte Tompkins, said, "We know it's some weeks before the new service starts, but we are asking residents to help by storing their bins at their properties until the new service starts. The logistics of delivering over 70,000 wheeled bins plus food caddies to properties across this large district means that we need to start the process in good time." Councillor Stephen North, leader of the council, added, "We would like to thank residents for their patience during what has been and remains an extremely busy time for us. The new system will deliver a substantial cost saving for the council and ultimately council taxpayers, and it meets our commitment to deliver a weekly collection as promised. Residents who will be on holiday from June 27th to July 25th are advised to ask family, friends or a neighbour to wheel their bins onto their property. For details, go to www.eastnorthamptonshire.gov.uk/new contract.
Campaigners seeking a bypass for Isham say there are 5,500 more vehicles passing through this village compared to Geddington. The Isham Bypass Action Group compiled a report detailing traffic numbers after volunteers spent 24 hours counting every vehicle passing through. The team of 20 counted 22,938 vehicles on the A509 in their village on Tuesday, June the 14th. In a bid to prove traffic had increased since Northamptonshire County Council presented a lower figure to the Department of Transport before it made a decision. According to the 2002 figures, 21,300 vehicles passed through Isham in 24 hours. Last month, Northamptonshire County Council Cabinet decided to inject the £6 million earmarked for the Isham Bypass project into the A43 Link Road scheme, bypassing Geddington and Corby. The decision followed an announcement by the government stating the Isham Bypass would not receive funding until at least 2015. Isham scheme remains a high priority issue. The government said the A43 Link Road was one of 23 schemes which was being elevated to a development pool to be taken forward. Graham Raint, chairman of the pro-bypass group, said, "We think we should be ahead of Geddington. There are 32% difference in the traffic in 24 hours. Mr. Raint, 68 of Middle Street, said, "The noise is permanent. At night you can't sleep. There are lorries thundering down the road. The foundation of some of the houses are getting a good shaking. There's pollution, and it's dangerous. There's a very popular school in Isham, and there are a lot of children walking up and down the pavement. It's not village life as it should be." The group visited Geddington on Tuesday to count vehicles passing through the village on the A43 from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. They counted 5,889 over the 4 hours and calculated this would equate to 17,329 over a 24-hour period. The group plans to present the survey to MP Peter Bowen to feed back the results to the county councils and the government.
Earl's Bartonians tucked into a specially made new suite at the village's carnival on Saturday, called the Barton Refresher. Mark Wareham of Barton Sweets in the Square launched the boiled sweets on a stall at the event on Saturday after having them specially made by a sweet maker in Thrapston. Mr. Wareham said, "On our shop's opening day in September, a lady came in and said, 'I've got a tip for you. There's a chap in Thrapston who makes sweets and fudge, and he might be very useful to you.' We went along a few days later and discovered this 75-year-old guy who has been making sweets all his life. Mr. Wareham's new friend, Dave Payne, has a shop called Kearane in Thrapston. He has been making sweets by hand in a workshop on site for more than 30 years. Mr. Payne was responsible for making the Toot sweets, which featured in Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, and also advised on the set of, and briefly appeared in, Tim Burton's adaptation of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Mr. Wareham and Mr. Payne became friends, which led to the creation of the Barton Refresher. Mr. Wareham said, "I said to him, 'Are there any sweets you haven't made for ages?' He said, 'There was one called a Refresher. It's a twisted-shaped sweet, which is very distinctive to look at, and they were all in pastel colours, and there's 6 different flavours. They look beautiful. They have a sheen on them too, and he has done them with a hint of fizz.' Mr. Wareham said he thought the Barton Refresher would go down a treat with locals. He said, 'The thing about handmade sweets is that the sweets are very, very tasty. When you manufacture a sweet, you more or less manufacture the flavour out of them. Because these are made by hand, they are made by craftsmen, really.' Mr. Wareham said that when people come into his shop, which is a family business, they developed a look of joy he calls the sweet shop eyes. He said, 'One of the beauties of a sweet shop is people are happy when they arrive, when they are here, and when they leave.' He said some of his customers' favourite sweets included chocolate limes, bonbons, rhubarb and custards, licorice torpedoes and sherbet lemons."
And another spot of confectionery on this one. A bargain baker who is offering wedding cakes for just £25 has set up a stall in Wellingborough Market. Millie Moriarty, 29, is the most recent addition to the Wellingborough's Market, Pebble Lane, offering a range of homemade cakes and biscuits, from boiled fruit cakes to flapjacks, lemon cakes and birthday cakes. She also takes orders and commissions, but the cheap overheads of the market has enabled her to offer her cakes at a special discounted price. She said, "There is a range of cakes on offer on the stall, as well as some examples of what I can do. I make cakes to order, and I'm quite creative. I haven't turned down a challenge yet. I also do a range of cheaper cakes, novelty and wedding cakes, which sold at £25, as well as a range of decorated smaller cakes." She added, "I'm enjoying the market. I haven't been here long, but it's picking up." Millie's cake stall is placed at the top of Pebble Lane, opposite the library, and is open Wednesdays and Fridays. Market Supervisor Henry Summerfield has welcomed the new addition to his team of traders. He said, "I'm delighted with this new stall. It is unlike anything else we offer, because it specialises in homemade cakes which aren't available everywhere, and I have heard they are very tasty. It's a good location, and we wish it all the best. We have had quite a few new starters over the past months, which is a good sign for the market. Anyone who wants details about opening a stall on the Wellingborough Market can find Mr. Summerfield in the Market Square during market hours on Tuesdays, Wednesdays and Fridays."
Door staff at a town pub are wearing body cameras as part of a 3-month trial in a bid to cut crime. The trial has been introduced at the Feathers pub in High Street, Rushden, by Northamptonshire Police's East Northamptonshire Safer Community team. Management at the Feathers will look to buy their own cameras if, after the 3 months, they feel the trial has been a success. Sergeant Kevin Byrne from East Northamptonshire Safer Community team said, "We have a challenging target to reduce violent crime, and this is just one initiative we are driving. The Feathers is a well-managed establishment, and staff at the premises are keen to work closely with us in order to make Rushden a safer place. The message we are sending out to troublemakers when committing crime is that it's not just the police they should be looking out for. They need to be aware that we are working with partners to reduce and detect crime and antisocial behaviour. Offenders should expect severe penalties, which can include lengthy bans from licensed premises. As well as helping to cut crime, the cameras will help door staff to get on with their jobs by helping to disprove malicious complaints which door staff at the Feathers have been subjected to in the past. In the past fortnight, the cameras have helped counter claims by a customer in the pub who alleged he had been pushed and slapped by door staff. Sergeant Burns said, "This patron was a little the worse for wear, and he was removed from the public house by door staff who used reasonable force. This was a clear example of the cameras protecting door staff from malicious complaints and allegations of assault." Val Barham of Tennyson Road, Rushton, said she supported the plan. She said, "I think it's a good idea to stop things like these youngsters fighting. If something happens, it can't hurt to have it on film. I think other pubs should give this sort of thing a try." John Glenn of Knowles Close, Rushton, said, "I'm a little against cameras, but saying that, things are so bad at times that I agree with this idea. It might help to sort things out, hopefully. At least they will know who is committing crimes."
A farmer has received a long service award in recognition of the 60 years he has spent working in the industry. Ted Horn has worked at Shelton Hall Farm in Shelton since 1951, and the 80-year-old still ploughs the fields at the farm every summer. Mr. Horn of Park Street, Raunds, was recently presented with a gold bar by the East of England Show Society in recognition of his long tenure. Mr. Horn's wife, Glenys, said he was delighted to have received the award and added, "It's a special thing. Not many people can say they've worked until they were 80. We're all very proud of him. He has always been in the farming business, and he started at Shelton Hall Farm in 1951. Peter Beers, who runs the farm, said, "The fact Ted has been in our farm for so long is a remarkable achievement. He's one of a kind, and we have been very privileged to have employed him and have him as a friend." Over the last 60 years, grandfather of four, Mr. Horn, has seen several changes to farming, particularly the increased use of machines. He recently celebrated his 80th birthday and was presented by Mr. Beers with a framed picture from his early years on the farm.